तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. So in our Sanatana Dharma, there is one sadhana that we do, and that is tīrtha-yatra. So tīrtha-yatra is where we take up a yatra to go to sacred places and have darshan of Bhagavan, attain punya, destroy papa, purify oneself. So tīrtha, the word tīrtha literally means that by which one crosses over. Tīryate anaya iti tīrtham, that by which one crosses over. Crosses over what? At simpler level, one says one crosses over one's comfort zone. Because earlier when we did tīrtha-yatra, how it would be? People would actually go by walk. Many days it will take to reach the place. They live on bhiksha, or they cook by themselves. So they carry all the things and then they are cooking by themselves and then they go. Some of the days they will do fasting also. And wherever the shelter is available, they will stay there for the evening, for the night, in a temple, below some tree, in some village, through some forests. So that which helps you to push out of comfort zone, get out of raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion, also which takes us across our negativities, builds willpower. When one does a tīrtha-yatra, many times the mind will play its own tricks. No, it is not possible, it's very difficult, I can't do it. But when one has Shraddha in Bhagavan, one has confidence, no, I can do it, I must do it, I will do it, all that, and it pushes a person forward. And when that person completes the tīrtha-yatra, one feels strong, willpower has become stronger. But ultimately, it takes us across ignorance. So that's the purpose of a tīrtha. Of all the different tīrthas which are there, the tīrtha of Kashi is the most sacred one. And we saw, even in the Saptapuris, it is said that the other 6 Puris, they lead to the Jiva's Janma in Kashi, and from Kashi that Jiva gets Mukti. So the sacredness of Kashi, now we understand. We saw Kashi Vishwanatha Stotram last few days. Shankaracharya has written 5 verses in Kashika Stotram. And that is to tell us about the inner Kashi. Externally, there is a place, no doubt. It has its own glory, significance. We saw how Bhagavan only created it and holds it on his Trishul, and then he placed it on the earth so that the jivas can go beyond their karmas, and Bhagavan himself gives the Tarak mantra, Ram or Om, and the jiva gets mukti. And during Pralay also Bhagavan lifts it on his trident, and so Kashi is the place of immortality. It doesn't get destroyed. And the jiva also attains immortality through that place. And we saw the meaning Kash means to shine. Kashi is where one shines in one's true nature. So 5 verses Shankaracharya ji has given, beautifully describing the inner pilgrimage and the Vedantic Advaitic understanding. So we are going to use those 5 verses, Kashika Stotram, for the contemplation next few days. This is the Kashika Stotram. And this is the first verse. Manojña-vṛttiḥ paramopaśāntiḥ sa tīrtha-varyā maṇikarṇikā ca jñāna-pravāhā vimalādi-gaṅgā sa kāśikāhaṃ nija-bodha-rūpā sa kāśikāhaṃ nija-bodha-rūpā. Manojña-vṛttiḥ, all the mental modifications, parama-upaśāntiḥ, they attain complete cessation, silence, and lead to the state of the supreme realization. Sa tīrtha-varyā, that state is the holiest of all the tirthas. Manikarnika cha, and that is called as Manikarnika. So that is the Manikarnika where all the thoughts have been, they have ceased. And what is the Gaṅgā? Jñāna-pravāhā vimalādi-gaṅgā. The pure primeval Gaṅgā is the flow of the self-knowledge. This ever-flowing stream of self-knowledge, that awareness that I am Brahman, I am infinite consciousness, is the Gaṅgā. Sa kāśikāhaṃ nija-bodha-rūpā. And hence I am that Kashika, the city of light, which is of the nature of self-awareness, nija-bodha-rūpā. That my nature is awareness, I am not the body, mind and intellect. So this is the basic meaning of this shloka. One is to go to a place, Kashi, and have darshan of Bhagavan, go to Manikarnika ghat, go to Ganga ji, take a snan, do the snan there, offer abhishek on Bhagavan, be at the Manikarnika and get vairagya, see how it is called as nitya smashan, continuous 24/7 bodies are getting burnt there. So one is we go there literally and see the place. The other is the symbolic meaning of this, the Advaitic understanding, that what has to be achieved. Self-realization is the supreme goal. Knowing that one goes beyond the cycle of birth and death, one goes beyond transmigration, one goes beyond samsara. The only way to do that is through the knowledge, because ignorance is the root cause of my sorrow. I don't know who am I. And ignorance of that self causes the false notion that I am the BMI, body, mind, intellect. Identified with the BMI, I feel incomplete. When I feel incomplete, then there will be vasanas. As per the vasanas, the desires arise, thoughts, actions, results, which further strengthen the vasana. This cycle goes on. Every vasana, when it is fulfilled, leads to more and more vasanas, and obviously all of them cannot get fulfilled in the same life. So punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. This cycle of birth and death goes on. So 3 cycles: ignorance, false identification, Incompleteness is the main cause. That is the first ignorance cycle. Second one, vasana cycle, from vasana to vasana. Third, birth, life, death, rebirth, life, death, this goes on. So, Kashi is that which destroys the root cause of my sorrow, ignorance of the self. If I just do good, be good, that will purify the mind, but it will not lead to complete cessation of sorrow. Experience of absolute bliss, it will not lead to. That will happen only when there is ignorance which is destroyed and one becomes aware. My nature is consciousness. It is not a state of mere thoughtlessness. So when he says here that manojña-vṛttiḥ paramopaśāntiḥ, it is not ordinary stillness of the mind where just the mind has become quiet for some time. It is manonāśa, not manolaya. Manolaya is like in deep sleep, the mind becomes dormant. Again, it comes back. Same person who went to sleep, that deep sleep, again gets up. Most notorious person also looks so calm, peaceful in the deep sleep. Mind has become dormant. Like the child, the most naughty child in the house, when that child is there, the child does, such tantrums and brings the whole house down. And people are wondering, Arey, what is this? But when the child is sleeping, paramopaśānti. Everybody is so happy, Arey, sleeping, chalo. Same way, this ahankara is lean, when mind has become dormant. So even the most terrible person looks so peaceful, happy, gone to deep sleep. But when one comes out, again the same mind has started. And this happens not only to us in the state of deep sleep, this happens even during pralay. So many jivas. It is not that the jivas all get mukti before pralay. No. They become dormant. When Brahmaji's one day is over, he goes to sleep, whole Srishti goes back into him. Even before Brahmaji's one day, when Chaturyugi ends, 1000 Chaturyugis is one day of Brahmaji. When one Chaturyugi ends, there is a pralay. Then again Satyug starts. So during that pralay kal, the mind of the jivas has become dormant. And again when the Srishti starts, as per their karma, they are born in particular yuga, Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. From where they are left, there only they continue. So it is not that type of a manolaya, dormant mind. Manojña-vṛttiḥ, the mental modifications attain parama-upaśānti. They attain supreme state of peace, meaning manonāśa has happened. And that is called Manikarnika. Sa tīrtha-varyā Manikarnika cha. Because what happens in Manikarnika? The bodies are burnt. And Bhagavan Shiva himself gives the Taraka mantra to the Jiva. So, what is burnt here? In the fire of knowledge, ignorance is burnt, and kama is burnt, karma is burnt. How in the Gita Bhagavan says, jñāna-agni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. The fire of knowledge will destroy all the accumulated past karma, sanchit karma, all burnt. Prarabdha karma, while one is going through, one says, this is not me, this BMI is going through it, I am only a witness. These are not mine. And because that person has attained that state of realization, there is no agami karma for that person. No new karmic bondage. Whatever the Jivan Mukta does, the results of that are distributed between the critics and the devotees. The Jivan Mukta has no taint of any karma. No residue, nothing left. That is called tīrtha-varyā Manikarnika. that in the fire of knowledge, this mind has got destroyed. Manonasha has happened. How? Because of this awareness. So manojña-vṛttiḥ also means not just mental modifications, it also means the modification of the mind, which is the Mahavakya. When we contemplate on Mahavakya, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, I am Atma Brahma, these Mahavakyas, we contemplate on them. That I am not this body, I am infinite consciousness. I am not the Jiva, I am Brahman. That destroys all other thoughts. Whole Jiva Bhava gets destroyed with that thought. Then that thought also goes. That is parama-upaśānti. It is not dullness, it is not shunya, it is not blank, not thoughtlessness. Parama-upaśānti, supreme state of stillness, is with awareness. That's why when we begin the meditation or contemplation rather, we say that I am alert, awake and quiet. Because we want to attain that state of stillness with awareness. That my nature is awareness, is not just dullness, blank. Even if somebody says there is blank, there is shunya, there is an entity who is observing that shunya. That is you, that is awareness, that is consciousness. That is beyond mind. Even when the mind is dormant, it is still there. So that awareness is our true nature. So manojña-vṛttiḥ means through that Aham Brahmasmi, contemplation on that Aham Brahmasmi, I am infinite consciousness, Shivoham, Shivoham. The mind becomes, that ignorance is destroyed. So that mind has become completely still and silent. Parama-upaśānti. Paramopaśānti is actually not state of mind, it is state beyond mind. So peace of the mind is Shanti, peace of the self is parama-upaśānti, in which the thoughts have ceased to be. Upashanti means that thoughts have ceased completely. When will thoughts cease? When all the vasanas are destroyed. When vasanas will be destroyed? When avidya is destroyed. So it is a state of realization, and that is what one has to burn. In Manikarnika, when we burn the body, and it is said that Bhagavan grants the jiva mukti and the jiva is not born again, what does that mean? Only when ignorance is destroyed, the jiva will not be born again. Otherwise, one will be again born. There in Manikarnika, Bhagavan's kripa, Bhagavan initiates the jiva into the Taraka mantra and that jiva gets mukti. The mukti there is, one may go to the loka of Bhagavan, one may attain Sayujya mukti with Bhagavan, be like Bhagavan, but jivan mukti comes when there is Atma Jnana. So, Shankaracharya, that's why he says that Kurute Gaṅgā Sagar Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Athava Dhanam Jnāna-vihīna Sarvamatena Bhajatina Muktim Janma Shatena. One may take hundreds of births and you do Gaṅgā Sagar Gamanam, meaning tīrtha-varyā you do, or you do dhan, you do vrata. But if we don't get Brahma Jnana, Atma Jnana, all these are preparatory means. They will purify the mind, but beyond that they cannot do. Mind will still remain what it is. Atma Jnana only will destroy the avidya, where the false identification that I am the jiva will go. So he says jnana-vihīna, without this Atma Jnana, bhajatina muktim janma shatena, in hundreds of lives one will not get. So the real Kashi is that where, which is the Atma. Sa kāśikāhaṃ nija-bodha-rūpā. My swarupa is bodha, my swarupa is awareness. Thoughts come, thoughts go, I am that awareness. Untouched by any thought, however noble it may be, however ignoble it may be. Thought cannot touch. like the screen, remains unaffected by as many scenes which are projected on it. Nothing happens to the screen. The mirage water will never be able to wet the sand of the desert, though it appears that the water is there. The snake will never be able to make the rope poisonous, because superimposition will never affect the substratum. That is the Siddhant, simple. So thoughts come, thoughts go. Today we get persecuted by our own thoughts. The biggest persecution in the world is thought persecution. How much we persecute ourselves thinking I am this jiva, and then all those thoughts, as the thoughts are, so am I. If there's a thought of anger, I don't say anger has risen in my mind. We say I am angry. So much identification. I am greedy, I am jealous, I am successful, I am happy. That one has to withdraw. Manojña-vṛttiḥ paramopaśānti. When we drop identification with the thought and we burn that false identification, that is the real burning. Shivji is the guru who helps us to do that. Shivji is the one who gives Atmajnana. That's why we say Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam. Full Guru Parampara, beginning with Shivji. So, Shivji initiates the jiva into Tarak Mantra. Tarak Mantra is not a mantra for japa only. It is a mantra for nididhyasana, contemplation, where I negate the false and assert the truth. So, manojña-vṛttiḥ paramopaśānti, meaning that should be our goal, that may the thoughts become so subtle, sharp, single-pointed that from many thoughts about different things where the mind is restless, wandering, to few thoughts about Bhagavan, when we visualize the form of Bhagavan or the linga or any other, Leela of Bhagavan, to one thought about Bhagavan, mantra we keep doing japa, to one contemplative thought, where one says, I and Bhagavan are one. That is what one will finally realize, that my nature is Supreme Brahman, infinite consciousness, Shivoham. So that's the progress. Manojña-vṛttiḥ paramopaśāntiḥ. And using that contemplative thought, one thought, like how in the cremation ground, the body, when it is burnt, there's one stick with which that body, the fire is lit. And then that will be used to ensure that the body, if it comes up, is again put back inside, etc. And finally that stick also is thrown. The Upanishad says, Yena tyajasi tat tyaja. That holding on to which you have renounced everything else, you renounce that thought also. Like Gurudev used to say that when there's a deep desire to sleep, then the thought, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, with that thought I renounce everything else. No other thought, any work, any appointment, anything, no, not now, I'm going to sleep, I want to sleep. And then that last thought, I want to sleep, also gets dropped. One is sucked into sleep. In that same way, aham brahmasmi, not as japa, as nididhyasana, I am Brahman, my nature is consciousness. Chidananda-rūpa shivoham. That contemplation, where one lifts the mind to that state. My nature is consciousness, thoughts come, thoughts go, I am unaffected. So that is how the contemplation has to happen. Manojña-vṛttiḥ paramopaśānti. The more I contemplate that parama-upaśānti, the thoughts have ceased and that consciousness is my nature. Even when thoughts are there, consciousness alone is. In fact, Gurudev used to say that every thought is an opportunity to recognize consciousness. It is not a disturbance. We think of it as a disturbance because our thinking process is, I should have no thought. Yes, we are trying to attain single pointedness, but goal is not to have no thought. And that's the Upanishadic methodology. Kenopanishad says, Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hivindate. Every single thought, in that you recognize consciousness, that is how you realize immortality. Pratibodha viditam. Bodham bodham prati. If you split that mantra of Kenopanishad. Bodham there means thought. In this context, sa kāśikāhaṃ nija-bodha-rūpā, in that it is atmajñāna, it is the nature of the self. But there pratibodha viditam means every thought, through each thought. Why? Because the definition of thought is that thought is equal to object plus consciousness. All I have to do is shift my attention from object to consciousness, that I am the awareness, I am not the object. If the thought of anger comes, instead of saying I am angry, we say I am, anger has come, anger is there, anger is going, I am awareness, I am watching it first. The mind is thinking of some pleasure, some enjoyment, you are watching the mind conceiving that, imagining that pleasure, enjoying it, you are watching. So if I shift from the object to the subject, that's the shift I have to do. Then amritatvam vindate, one attains immortality. Why? Because that nature is of consciousness is immortal, it is not born. It is always there. Before the thought it was there, during the thought it is there, after the thought also it will be there. So, manojña-vṛttiḥ paramopaśānti, I am that consciousness, parama-upaśānti, in which all the thought modifications have ended. Sa tīrtha-varyā maṇikarṇikā, that is the supreme tīrtha of Manikarnika, where the false identification is burnt, where the Guru gives the knowledge of the self and the false identification is burnt, the Jiva does not take birth again. Sa tīrtha-varyā maṇikarṇikā. Then jñāna-pravāhā vimalādi-gaṅgā, this continuous flow of knowledge. See, every other thought has a boundary and it limits the other thought. So thought of apple, thought of cake, thought of money, thought of fame, each thought obstructs the other thought. The nature of the thought also can be different. Quality is different. The intensity is different. It is not a continuous flow. We say mind is a flow of thoughts, but these thoughts are diverse topics, different intensity, different frequency, all that. But this is jñāna-pravāhā vimalādi-gaṅgā. This is awareness. So the Ganga also is that constant awareness that I am Brahman. Why? That is the most purifying. Nahi jñānena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. Both these are in the same chapter of the Gita. That's the beautiful aspect. This jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. This fire of knowledge will destroy all karma is also in 4th chapter of the Gita. And nahi jnānena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. There is nothing more greater purifying. There is no greater purifier than knowledge. That is also in 4th chapter of the Gita. So we take a dip in the Gangaji and we say that Papa has got destroyed. How Papa will get destroyed? Till the Papi is there, Papa will not get destroyed. Means some Sanchit will get destroyed, no doubt. But if the Papi is there, again Papa will continue. But in that jñāna-pravāhā vimalādi-gaṅgā, in that flow of awareness, one drops the Papi, the desirer only gone. Why? Because that desirer is a myth. It is not real. Every night in deep sleep it becomes dormant, again it gets up. So who are you? Are you the desirer or are you that substratum in which the mind goes and comes? That flow of awareness which is there in all the 3 states, waking, dream, deep sleep, and which is there beyond that also, that consciousness is my nature. That if I realize, then that is the Kashi inner Kashi. Sa kāśikāhaṃ. I am that Kashi. I don't have to go to Kashi. I am only that Kashi because that Kashi is the self. And so when it is said that in the life, in human life, one should once at least visit Kashi. No doubt go to that place. It has its own mahima, glory, significance. But the real Kashi is here inside. Sa kāśikāhaṃ nija-bodha-rūpā. My nature is infinite awareness, pure consciousness. I am that. That one has to realize. We are actually born for that. The faster we know that and we start putting effort, the better. Otherwise, the cycle of birth and death goes on. The only way to put an end to cycle of birth and death is to experience this Kashi. So Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, all these places, Kanchi, Avantika, Dwaravati, meaning Dwaraka, all these, they will lead us to where? The self. Brahma Jnana, when we get, then only there is mukti. So today we will meditate on this. If you need a support, yes, Shivalinga picture will be there. You can contemplate, but what we will follow in the process is, after we do pranam to the Guru, we will contemplate on the self. There is no need of a form in the mind. Try to be the awareness. Through the shloka, we will chant the shloka slowly, contemplate on the meaning, abide as the self, be the sakshi. If you think the mind is wandering, you need a form, then the picture of Bhagavan Kashi Vishwanath, the linga will be there. You can visualize that form, because that linga also is Chinmaya. Shivalinga is Chinmaya, it is consciousness only. It is not just a stone. So if you need, then hold on to that. Sit erect, the head, the neck and the spine in a straight line. Close your eyes gently. Relax the shoulders. Let your hands be in your lap, palms facing the sky. Come to a comfortable posture without any strain in any part of the body. Suggest to the mind . Suggest to the mind . For the next 25 minutes, I am steady and still without any movements. I am alert, awake, and quiet. I am only a seeker, a devotee, and my goal is self-realization. Thank Bhagwan, invoke gratitude in your heart. For all the blessings and the challenges that you faced yesterday. And be grateful for a fresh day, for new opportunities that are going to come today. Bhagwan is with us at all times, in our heart. So there is nothing to fear. With courage and confidence, seize the day, make the best of the opportunities. Relax the body with deep breathing. Exhale all the air. Inhale. Relax. Inhale. Relax. Inhale. Relax. Inhale. Relax. You are the awareness that is observing the body breathing. Slow, steady and deep breath. Continue at your own pace. And be aware of each and every breath. Suggest to the mind that I am the awareness, I am not the body, I am not the breath, I am not the individuality, I am the awareness, the observer of all these. In the space between the two eyebrows or in your heart, invoke the auspicious form of your Sadguru. Feel that you are in front of your Sadguru, at the feet of your Sadguru. If you don't have a Sadguru, visualize the form of Bhagavan. Both are one and the same. Bhagavan Shiva alone manifests as the Sadguru and guides us to our true nature, initiates us into Brahma-jnana, so with all gratitude and devotion for the Guru, we chant अनेक जन्म संप्राप्त कर्म बंध विदाहिने आत्मज्ञान प्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Salutations to the Guru who has destroyed the karmic bondage of many lives, who has burnt my past karmas by blessing me with Brahma-jnana, Atma-jnana. The knowledge that the Guru has given, with the grace of the Guru, may we be able to contemplate and intuitively realize the Self. So we seek the grace and the guidance of the Guru for steady contemplation. Offer some flowers at the feet of the Guru. Perform a pradakshina of the Guru. Prostrate in front of the Guru. Repose the Guru back into your heart. We will chant Shivoham 11 times, not as a mantra, just to repeat, but with the bhavana that I am that Shiva Tattva, I am consciousness, I am not the Jiva, I am Shiva. As you take a breath in, you say Shivo. As you exhale, you say Hum. "11 times we will do this. Shivo, Shivo, Hum, Shivo, Hum, Shivo, Shivo, Hum, Shivo, Hum, Shivo, Hum, Shivo, Shivo, Hum, Shivo, Hum. Continue at your own pace. If the mind wanders, bring it back to Shivoham. Shift your attention from the thought to the awareness. If you need, then hold on to the Shivalinga. We contemplate using the first verse. manojña-vṛttiḥ paramopaśāntiḥ. tīrtha-varyā maṇikarṇikā ca. jñāna-pravāhā vimalādi-gaṅgā. kāśikāhaṃ nija-bodha-rūpā. kāśikāhaṃ nija-bodha-rūpā. I am the Kashi of the nature of pure awareness, nija-bodha-rūpā. All the thoughts, they cease in me. Parama-upaśānti is my swarupa. Peace of the self is my nature. Thoughts arise, stay, and dissolve in me. Thoughts don't bind me. Thoughts do not define me. I am the infinite ocean of consciousness. The continuous flow of awareness. I am the most purifying Gaṅgā. I am the Manikarnika, the state of self. Which burns away all the false identification. In me, the consciousness thoughts appear like waves at the surface. I am infinite, unborn, limitless. I am the illuminer. BMI is the illumined. Stand apart and just watch the thoughts. Even the thought that I am consciousness, I am an observer of that. Unaffected, uninvolved observer am I. Chinmatroham sada Shiva. Pure consciousness alone, which is most auspicious. Just be aware of whatever the state the BMI is in. Don't try to control or change it. Just be aware. If the mind is peaceful, observe. If the mind is wandering, observe. If you need a support, hold on to Aham Brahmasmi or Shivoham. Body is still, the breath is going on. There may be some thoughts in the mind. I am the awareness, observing all this. This awareness is the greatest of all tīrthas. With the grace of Bhagavan and the Sadguru, may we come to abide in this state. Invoke the auspicious form of Bhagavan Kashi Vishwanath, the linga of Bhagavan. Offer some flowers out of gratitude. Prostrate in front of Bhagavan. Feel the grace of Bhagavan pervading your entire being. May we realize our oneness with Bhagavan as consciousness. Repose the form back into your heart. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your body. Be aware of the happenings around you. We pray for the well-being of everyone. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhak Bhavet. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya. Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. mrityormāmritam gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Rub your palms, place them on the face, gently open the eyes. Any questions?
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
I think you have told earlier, but I just have one question, that why that ghat is called Manikarnika? Where
Because
the
the
bodies are
Kundala,
burning throughout the 24/7 as it is, we know, and you are told.
Kundala Bhagwan Vishnu had fallen there. So Karnika is the Kundal. Bhagwan Vishnu was doing tapasya there, and the Kundal fell when he saw the water. Bhagwan created the land. The whole Shiv Puran story is there. No? Shivji created the land, and Vishnu Bhagwan and his Shakti were told to meditate and take the creation forward. So Vishnu Bhagwan meditated there, and there was, with the tapasya Shakti, there's a water surrounding the whole thing. And so he was stunned, and then in wonder he saw, and he turned, and his kundal fell down. So that is Manikarnika. And then of course that water was flooding that whole place, and Bhagwan Shiva held it above his trident, and then he placed it on the ground, all that. So that's why it is called Manikarnika. Right. Okay, Hari Om. Thank you, everyone.